Hey y'all, bad news today. I have no idea what happened. I can't really explain it, but this morning I got on the scale 157. How does that happen? Yesterday it said 154. Did I just gain 3 pounds overnight? Or is the scale faulty and was it lying yesterday? Or is it lying today? Or have I been lying to myself and just underestimating these calories? And I, I have no idea what happened. Okay, I was kind of devastated to see that, and I knew I would have to report it to you. And I'm always honest about what I see, and there's no way around it. I weigh 157 now, so whereas yesterday I was celebrating the fact that I've lost 5 pounds so far, now it looks like I have ricocheted back up and I have only lost 2 pounds so far on this weight loss journey. All this that I've put myself through for these past, what we're on day 13 now, all the food denials that I have given myself, all the exercise and workouts for 2 pounds. This is ridiculous. Something's not right. I don't know what's not right. Tomorrow I'm going to wait for the scale to start working again, because I don't know, maybe it needs new batteries. Something's wrong. Okay, I just don't know what. But it was not cool at all to wake up to see that. Not even a little bit. It was awful. And then today, I don't know, I've just been a little depressed by that news, and I've just been eating my feelings. Well, I don't know, but psychologically I've just been like, well, it doesn't matter after anyway. So I've been eating more than I should, and I don't know, I'm just a mess. I'm a mess. Breakfast, I ate too much. I went to the main dining room for breakfast. I think this was only the second time I've done that. Usually I'll just get a few little things here and there, but I had like a full breakfast, and it was so good. Oh my gosh. So, I had a coffee, I had a little orange juice, and then I had this Swedish pancake that was to die for. It was so good. It was like a crepe, but on top of like fruit, and I think there was like cream cheese filling. It was something in there. I need to get better about knowing what it is that I'm eating. That's probably part of the problem, that I'm getting these calories counts wrong. But whatever it was in that Swedish thing, in that crepe pancake thing, was freaking delicious. And I also had some corned beef hash. I think that's what it's called. Also good. It all paired together perfectly. It was just a delicious, delicious breakfast. But I was horrified when I counted it up and saw that it was about 786 calories for breakfast. That's it. That's like half of my meal. So I knew I would have to skip lunch, and so I did. I just took this sad nap here, just willing myself to just not eat for just 5 minutes. Can I please just stop eating? I don't know. This ship has almost all cruise ships have meetings of Friends of Bill W. or Alcoholics Anonymous, but they really need an Overeaters Anonymous on this cruise, because I would be the first one signing up there and saying, hi, I am the duck, and I can't stop eating in the buffet, and then maybe, oh, hi, the duck, that sort of thing. And maybe I could get some pointers. Like, I feel like I'm all alone on this journey. Everyone's eating everything they lay their eyes on, and I'm not, and I'm still only 2 pounds less than when I started. It's extremely frustrating. So I skipped lunch. Then I had dinner, and dinner was gigantic. I don't know why I was just eating so much. First of all, I had not one, but two Heineken Zeros. I really liked the company there, and everyone else had a wine or something. So I was just really enjoying the company of the my dinner mates. Then I had this salad, which I was like, oh, it's just a salad. But when I looked it up, I think because of its dressing, whatever it was good, and it had little bits of mandarin orange in it. I think that salad was actually 300 calories. You know how like sometimes when you look at, I don't know, Wendy's or whatever, and you're like, oh, I'll get a salad, but the salad is like twice the amount of calories as like a quarter pounder with. So it's like I was a little shocked. Here I'm thinking I think I'm doing good. I'm getting a salad, and then it's like that salad had a lot in it. Anyway, so I had the salad. Then I had this snapper, which I believe is a fish. It is. On top of this bed of, I don't know what kind of rice it was, green rice, pilaf rice, I'm not really sure. I tried to count what it was, and it looks like that was probably 425 calories, just that dish, and I ate the whole thing. Gone are the days when I used to split things in half. Well, that was just yesterday, but I was like, that snapper looks so tiny as it is. It's already kind of a half, but I think it was a full, it was like this big. I think it was a full snapper, or at least what a portion usually would be. So that was too much. And then I had bread pudding. This one I did do half of, so I had at least some willpower. My dinner total was about 1,013 calories. That was just dinner. That is atrocious. I cannot believe I did that to myself. I can't believe, I feel like I'm spiraling, but I mean, it's just been one day. I'm going to look at it tomorrow, and I'll probably see that I'm closer to where I think I'm supposed to be, but I don't know. Maybe I'll gain another pound because I'm just so angry about this morning's results. But anyway, anyway, so my total calories consumed today was 1,799, almost 1,800 calories. When I was okay, I was getting by with 1,300. Now all of a sudden I need 1,800? No. I did go to the gym. I go there every day. I'm very faithful to that. At least that, you can see the calories. I got on the elliptical. I did an hour, a little over an hour on the elliptical. 375. I'm proud of myself for that. That's one bit of good news. I do a little more every day, a little more, about 25 calories extra every day. But sometimes while I'm there in the gym, I look at other people's machines and their calorie counts, and I want to steal their calorie count burned and apply it to me, but you can't do that. You have to work on it yourself. You have to achieve those numbers yourself. So those are my 375 calories that I burned, not anyone else's. And, I'm proud of myself for that. At least it was something. What I think I burned up, that was just the equivalent of that one salad. So it feels, I'm a little defeated, even with the amount of work I did in the gym today, but we soldier on. So yeah, not the greatest day of this fat camp experience, but it was real, and this is real, so we'll see what tomorrow's like. Maybe I'll have better news. I'm hoping so. Okay. Hey y'all. I have some good news. I think the scale must have been broken or glitched out yesterday, because today things looked so much better. I was seeing 155 as the weight again, so that means, well, it's back to where, similar to where I thought it would be. Remember, I started at 159. The fact that I'm down to 155 means I've lost 4 pounds. So maybe not 5 pounds at this point, like it was a few days ago, but at least it's not, 157 or anything ridiculous like that. So we are still on the right track. So far, it looks like I've lost 4 pounds during this journey, and I'm proud of that. I'm very happy with that. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's definitely more in line with what I thought it would be. So today has been a really great day. I was so energized seeing my weight with that I went to the fitness center and burned 400 calories on the treadmill. The treadmill is the one that gives me what I believe is the biggest, the best workout. I sweat the most on that one, and it feels like it's the best workout. Now, unfortunately, the way the machine was, I think I had it set on some kind of quick start sort of routine. And when I got to 333 calories, it just stopped on me. And I really, so I had to restart it and do another 67 calories to get to 400. I was very disappointed in that. I wanted it to show a big 400. I wanted everyone in the gym to see that I was the one that reached 400 calories. Instead, I had to do 333 here and 67 there. That was ridiculous. That machine should not stop like that. It doesn't stop until I tell it to stop. Well, from now on, I have to go in and make sure I put it on manual setting or something like that. So it doesn't just, tell me that the workout is over. The workout is not over until the duck has lost 10 pounds. That's when it's over. Yeah, I did 400 calories. I was very, very pleased with that. I burned that amount, so that was the total I burned today. I haven't been going in the pool very much. We've been at sea for, I think, all of today and part of yesterday, and then tomorrow as well. So that means there's going to be a lot of people just sitting in the pool, and I won't be able to do my laps and that sort of thing. But that's okay. I've got the fitness center, so I'm finding an outlet. Although apparently a lot of people have been getting sick on this cruise, not me. I think there's murmurings that it's one of the norovirus, that sort of thing, that I think tends to happen on cruises. So who knows if the fitness center is even going to be open in the coming days. They're already, changing the way you get water in the Lido buffet, where they have to hand it to you now instead of you going to a machine. So I don't know how things are going to change. But if that fitness center is closed, I'm going to have to find some other outlet. I'm going to be just like running around the observation deck or something. So I'm a little worried about what's going to happen. But I'm okay now. So breakfast. I had breakfast at the main dining room. I'm also mostly going to be doing main dining room instead of the buffet area, because I'm also worried about getting sick or something like that. I don't want to touch anything that anyone else has touched. So I want to be, I like being served. Anyway, it's more elegant and it's nice there. So I like the main dining room. I'm sort of switching to that overall. I don't even do room service anymore. I don't do the buffet anymore. I just do main dining room, and I'm enjoying it. I love it. The food's just, it looks better, it feels better, I think it tastes better. So had a great breakfast there this morning. A little orange juice, and I got the Swedish pancake. That's the second one I had. The one I had yesterday was also, yesterday I had one, and my God, that has to be the best thing that they make on this ship. Nothing tastes that good on this ship. That is my favorite item of all the items I've tasted. And I have tasted a lot of items on these many days that I've been on this ship. What is it, 2 weeks now? I don't even know. I've lost count. So that is delicious. I had that, and then I had a little turkey bacon. Turkey bacon is not high in calories. When I looked at it, it was actually pretty decent. So my total for breakfast today was 506 calories. I also had a really nice coffee. So not too bad. Then the past couple of days, the room steward has been putting those Lindt chocolate treats on my bed, and I've been kind of putting them to the side because I've been so disgusted by by what the scale has been telling me. But I felt okay today, seeing that I'm back to 155. So I ate 2 of them today, and as a little snack, I think that was about 160 calories, but very delicious. Then I had dinner, and dinner I ate heartily. We can say that. Started with a Heineken Zero, just one this time though, not 2 like yesterday. And then I had probably the lightest meal I've had on this. I had a starter, the appetizer, which was this little plate of asparagus with a little bit of artichoke. It couldn't have been more than like 15 calories altogether. I mean, asparagus has like 3 calories per asparagus sprig. I don't know what you call them, stalk. So that was a very light appetizer. I'm so proud of myself. I should do more things like that. For the main entree, I had a sea bass. So good. It was on a bed of very little mashed potatoes, maybe a few green beans. Just delicious, delicious sea bass. It's one of the things that my mom makes really well, so it reminded me of home. It was but not as good as my mom's though. The ones that they make here, not that good, but still very delicious, and not too high in calorie, from what I looked online. Then I had a dessert, and I kind of splurged a little bit. I got the dulce de leche cake, I think, and paired it with a little bit. I didn't eat all of the vanilla ice cream, just like 1 scoop of it. So, and then had a nice decaf coffee. That mixture of the cold ice cream and the decaf coffee really goes well together, I think. And so that was my dinner. And the dinner total was 746 calories, bringing today's total calories consumed to 1,412. Pretty good number, I think. So basically, I consumed 1,400 calories, and then I went to the gym and burned off 400. I like that sort of net of around 1,000 for the day. So yeah, I feel really good. I was very pleased with those numbers for today, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Hey y'all, day 15, I think. They're all starting to become a blur of this weight loss journey. Again, this morning, first thing, 155. So I'm still kind of stuck there at the 4 pounds overall lost, but it's not the worst thing in the world, and we soldier on. So how did I do today? Well, first I went to the gym. That's what I've been doing most of these days. In fact, these days I wake up and go straight to the gym. I actually find out that that kind of works better for me. So that's before any coffee or anything at all. I just sort of get it over with in a sense. So I go to the gym. Today I reached 425 calories burned. So every day I sort of add on 25 more calories burned and push myself just a little more, but not too much to overwhelm myself. So this time I split it between 2 different machines. The first one was the elliptical, the sort of easier machine. So I did 200 calories on that one. And then I went to the treadmill and did 225 calories on that one. And I was kind of speeding up and going faster than I normally would because I wanted to make it in time for breakfast, because I have a certain table that I like to get at breakfast. So I was sort of rushing it along a little bit, especially because now my visits to the gym are exceeding an hour, which I never thought was possible, but now that I'm there for about an hour and 15 minutes every day, I kind of want to make sure I can make it to the breakfast. So overall, 425 calories burned. Very proud of myself for that. Then I went straight to breakfast. That's how my days go these days. Breakfast in my certain table. I even sort of pay for that table. I tip the waiter captain a little bit so that I can always have that table. I like that table. It looks out over the ocean. It's beautiful. So I sat there, I had my coffee, my orange juice, and of course my Swedish pancake that I adore. This time I had the corned beef hash again, but this time I only ate half of the corned beef hash. I was not about to half that Swedish pancake. But now that I've done 3 of those, 3 servings over the course of this cruise, I think I'm going to scale back and try other things next time. I can't just eat only the Swedish pancake. There's more to life than that, allegedly. So I had that, and that was a good breakfast. Breakfast came out to 640 calories, I think. Pretty good. Lunch, I skipped, okay, but I did go to see the movie of the day, and I had a bag of popcorn because they give you a bag of popcorn during the movie of the day. Today's movie was called The Sunlit Night. It was okay. It was a pretty good movie. The popcorn made it better, and so that was about, I'm going to say 40 calories. Maybe that's a low estimate, but it didn't seem that high in calories. Then I moved on to dinner right after the movie. This is my life. This is my life now. Okay. So after the movie, I went to dinner, went to the dining room, at a shared table. It was nice meeting new friends. The dinner started with a beef carpaccio, which was pretty good, just delicious, actually. And I don't think that was that high in calories. Then moved on to prime rib. Prime rib au juice. And I think this one had a lot of calories in it. Now I only ate 3/4 of it, but I'm gonna estimate that it was pretty heavy, and it was absolutely delicious, by the way. And it was nice to get prime rib. You don't get that often here, so or anywhere. But it was absolutely delicious. And then to top it off, I had 1/2 of a Jamaican bread pudding, but it tasted just like pretty much all the bread puddings that they have here, of which I've partaken quite a lot, and they're all good. So overall, I would estimate my dinner to be a pretty heavy 823 calories. So that means that the total calories consumed today would have been about 1,503 calories. So a little much. I won't be surprised if tomorrow I see that it's still at 155 pounds, but I think by pushing myself a little more in the gym this morning, that might help move me back to 154, which is where I'd like to be. Well, I'd really like to be at 153, but I think realistically I'll probably be where I am again tomorrow, but I really hope that the scale will surprise me. Anyway, an interesting day 15, and looking forward to day 16. Day 16? Hey y'all, day 16, can you believe it, of the Ducks fitness and diet weight loss journey, trying to achieve having lost 10 pounds on a cruise ship, on a cruise trip through the Panama Canal. How's it going so far? Well, I'm still at 155 calories as of this morning when I checked. So that means that so far I've still only lost 4 pounds for this journey. This is a real experiment and experience, so I can't force it to reach the loss of 10. Well, I can try, and I certainly am, but the scale doesn't lie, so I'm stuck where I am. And it's not as spectacular so far as I thought it would be, but I keep working at it. Today was a pretty interesting day. I burned more calories today than maybe I've ever done in my life, from what I've ever tracked or anything like that. So first of all, we landed in San Diego today. It was nice to be back in the US. And I did a walk for a while. They actually forced us, those of us who are continuing on this journey, all the way through to Seattle. So we still have well over another week or so left. So they forced us off, and then we had to get back on because of some customs thing for getting back in the U.S. So, and they wouldn't let us back on until after like 11 this morning. So some of us didn't leave until, like 10, but I left really early because I needed to go to the bank because I had casino money that I needed to deposit. So I left really early, and I also did a walking live stream on my YouTube channel of San Diego, but I ended up walking in San Diego for 3 hours, which I was exhausted after it. And if they're correct from that seminar I went to that you lose 200 calories by walking each hour, then I would have lost 600 calories just by walking around the town and seeing it. So I'm very proud of myself for that. I did walk a lot in San Diego today, so 600 calories burned. But then I came back, and just because I went out there does not excuse me from going to the gym and one-upping myself from the previous day's work. So I went to the gym and I burned 450 calories. I had to. And I split it between the elliptical and the treadmill again. So I was really, really tired. But then I was like, well, this is more than enough, okay? I realized that because of the change of locale and the fact that a lot of passengers left, I had the pool all to myself, so I had to take advantage of that. So I went in the pool and I did 15 minutes of laps. It was so nice to be the only one there and to really enjoy the pool the way it's meant to be, which is just all for me. So the total calories that I burned today was 1,150 calories. Wow. That is huge. Over 1,000 calories burned. I'm so proud of myself. I mean, I have to pat myself on the back. That was a lot. After all of that, I showered, and then I went to bed. I took a nap because I was just completely spent. But I did eat, of course, and I ate quite a bit. Well, not that bad. It's not as bad as I thought it might be. So I had breakfast this morning in the main dining room. I had a little orange juice. I ate this vegetable frittata. I used to have the vegetable frittata as part of the room service. It's also on the room service menu, but today it was nice to have it in the main dining room, along with my coffee, and then I paired it with an English muffin. I asked for strawberry jam, but all they had was marmalade, so I guess I had marmalade. It was only okay. It was a lot of calories in that English muffin with marmalade, and it wasn't that good. So I hate when I waste calories, as I say it, on things that don't taste good or that aren't really good for me. So that was one such instance. So the total of calories for breakfast today was 538. Okay, a little more than I would have wanted, but it's been an intense day. Then I usually skip lunch, but I was just so spent from all of the, San Diego and all of that, that I kind of splurged. I went to the dive-in location on the ninth floor deck, the pool, by the poolside, and I got one of those Nathan's famous hot dogs. So I just ate a whole hot dog, on a bun, and it was pretty heavy, but man, was it delicious. And I was, just kind of really, I needed to cool down as well from all of the working out. So I got myself a virgin pina colada as well. So it was a lot. I would say that my lunch, my snack, was about 400 calories. Um, yeah. Then I went to dinner. Of course I did. At the main dining room. Today I tried to be good. I actually had a salad, a beet salad. That was the sort of starter. That wasn't too bad at all. And then I had a rainbow trout, and I looked it up, and it looks like rainbow trout does not have very many calories. So I ate the full portion of the rainbow trout, um, and I didn't eat the rest of what was on the plate. There was, like a lot of mashed potatoes and stuff like that. So I let that go. But the rainbow trout itself was delicious. And then, of course, I had a nice dessert. It was called an Alaskan tart with berries. I think it was kind of just like a baked Alaska, but I mean, it didn't have the cold part, so I mean, it was similar to a baked Alaska. Anyway, that one was probably had the most calories, but it was very, very good. It was so delicious. I said I was going to only eat half of it, but then I ended up eating the whole thing because it was just, you know, an absolute delight on the tongue. So, my dinner for today was about 478 calories, and the overall amount consumed for today was approximately 1,416 calories. So, I mean, if you think about it, the net after, um, factoring in how much I worked out today was about 266 calories. So, yeah, let's just say that I only consumed 266 calories. Anyway, it's been quite the day. I feel really good about this program that I'm on. And I think tomorrow I'm definitely going to see some more improvement, and I won't be still stagnant here at this 155. So we'll see. Looking forward to tomorrow. Hey y'all, day 17. I have some champagne. I don't drink, but they did give me this for free at some events here on the cruise ship today. And I just like having them in the room. And I think when you smell it, it's like, what do they say? The scent is so much percent of taste of something. I don't know. But it feels like I consumed the champagne, even though I didn't. So I just like them in my vicinity. It reminds me of when I used to drink a lot of champagne, and I like them. Whatever. I'm on a cruise ship, and I'm glad that I have the willpower to not um, down every single free champagne I get, or else I would be completely drunk all the time on this cruise ship because they just love giving it out everywhere you go. But anyway, I am celebrating today because I have very good news for you. I have some good news and some bad news, although I don't see how it would really affect you in any way. So it's good news and bad news for me only. But we'll start with the good news for the duck. Today, I weighed myself 153 pounds. Awesome. The duck has now lost 6 pounds on this cruise ship. Very, very good news. Okay, now the bad news. I ate like a pig lit today. Okay, I ate so much that I probably ate 2 days worth of what I should be eating. We'll start with breakfast. Okay, breakfast started out okay. Today I actually I went to the main dining room, and remember, I don't know if I told you, I think I did, that I've been tipping them, the waiter captain, a lot to sit in my favorite seat, which is 113, and today they gave it to someone else, even though I was there like before even the place even opened. And I was kind of sad about that. They put me in this horrible seat where I was like between two people who were just like coughing the whole time without covering their mouths. Especially now there's like a norovirus going around the ship. And I was like, what? And it had no window. I had like a miserable breakfast. But in a way, that's a good thing, okay? I like to see things in a positive way. Because if it was a good breakfast, I would have eaten too much. But because it was kind of a bad breakfast, I was like, I'm not going to eat any of this. So I barely ate anything, or I still ate a lot. I had half of an orange juice as usual. I ordered two fried eggs, but I only ate one of them, so that's a good thing. I ordered the corned beef hash. I only ate half of it, and I got some bacon, but I only ate like one little bacon, and So it was not a very good breakfast, but at least I didn't overeat for breakfast. So my total for breakfast was approximately 349 calories. I skipped lunch, but I did go to the afternoon tea, the Dutch tea that they have here on Holland America. This one, I was kind of bad, okay? I just sort of ate everything on that tray. We started with the egg salad and cress. It was a mini sandwich. It was just like a little, maybe a third of a sandwich. It was delicious. The Stroop waffle, of course, I had that. It was delicious. I don't know how many cream puffs type things I ate. I think I counted 3 of them. All of them were good. I also had I don't know if it was a sandwich on white bread. It wasn't a chicken sandwich like you get at Chick-fil-A, but it was like a sandwich with bits of chicken in it. It was so delicious. I had that. So what should have been a very light afternoon tea ended up being approximately 555 calories worth of delicious little nibbly things that I couldn't keep my hands off of, and I ate all of them. And if that's where I would have stopped today, that would have been good, but it's not where I stopped at all. Okay. Then I had met someone, a really, really nice lady at one of these dinners that we have, and she invited me to join her at the Pinnacle Grill, which is one of the finest restaurants here on the ship, and I couldn't say no to that. So I went, and I ate way too much. Okay, it started off. I mean, this is a very nice restaurant. And, I've been on this cruise for how many days? Over 2 weeks. I haven't, besides that one tamarind restaurant, I hadn't really had anything that was real gourmet. And I thought I should have at least something, at least for the video, for the YouTube. So I started with this candied bacon that comes in. It was like hanging. I don't know. It was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but in a good way. Whatever that was delicious, but also it was very high in calorie count, at least 400 calories just for that little appetizer. But, my good God, it was absolutely delicious. I loved every bit of that. I barely had any bacon this morning, but this was a whole new definition of bacon. It was very, very good. Then I also had 2 Heineken Zeros, but, no alcohol, so couldn't have been that bad, right? And then the filet mignon came, and not only did I eat mine, but I also ate about half of my dining partner's filet mignon as well. Cooked medium, it had, just like a slightly pinkish interior. It was so delicious. It was so well done. I've had other steaks, New York strips and stuff on this cruise, but nothing quite like this. It was top-notch steak. And I ate a lot of it today, way too much, but it was absolutely delicious, and it's going to have to last me a long time. I also had this, a little bit of asparagus, which, doesn't have much calories at all, from what I remember counting recently, but that was good. That's really all I should have had, period, but what could I say? What could I do? This was like a once in a lifetime, for me anyway, kind of experience. There are people who go to the Pinnacle Grill every day, but it's rare for me, and I wanted to enjoy it, okay? Is that against the law? Is it against the slaw? I should have just had coleslaw. But anyway, and then I ate this baked Alaska, which was gigantic, and I ate pretty much almost all of it except for some of that meringue, topping. But yeah, that thing was delicious. It had bits of chocolate, maybe, I think, and cherry, I think. It was ice cream like, and then it had that crusty exterior. It was just so good, and it was huge, and I ate all of it. almost all of it. That had to have been at least 600 calories just in that baked Alaska. There's probably more, though, realistically. So my dinner was 1,734 calories just for dinner, meaning today's total of calories consumed would have been 2,638 calories. Way too much. Way too much. That is about twice as much. Like, I've been doing about 1,300 calories a day, and then this 26, that's twice as much as I normally do as I've normally done during this weight loss journey. I am so embarrassed by that number. I am so disappointed in myself for it. But I did it, and there's no turning back. However, let's not focus on the problem so much as focusing on the solution. I am going to do my very best to not eat anything for about 24 hours. I mean, that's what I have to do to fight this. So tomorrow I am not going to have breakfast. I'm going to have a coffee, and then I'm going to skip lunch, and then hopefully I'll just have a very light dinner is what I'm planning on. So yeah, it's been rough. Today was rough. It was rough, but it was also beautiful, and I'm celebrating the fact that I have lost 6 pounds. I don't even want to look at the scale tomorrow because I know what it's going to say. It's going to say, well, it's going to put me right back up and erase some of my gains. I get it. I know I did that to myself. I'd like to say there's no excuse, but there kind of is. I mean, this was a very special meal for me, and it was great. The company was wonderful. I just had a really great time, and the food was so good. I mean, it was just so good. It's so rare that I get to eat that well in real life, and it's hard to really regret something like this that was so special. So I'm going to try to stay positive. It will probably be about 24 hours before I eat again. I'm not punishing myself so much as I'm going to, I know I should pay for this. And I've done long 24 hours between meals before, so this shouldn't be something too out of the ordinary for me. So I'm going to try it and see. But it's been quite the day. It's nice to feel this full, I will say, but I should not do this often. It should be something, I don't know. I also did go to the gym today and exercised. I split up my workout into 4 segments. The first one was 150 calories burned on the elliptical machine. I followed that up with a little kind of a game where you got coins on the Espresso stationary bicycle, virtual coins. It was fun, but the game was only 5 minutes long, and so I could only get 9 calories out of it because otherwise I would have to pay for a subscription. You know, the Duck don't do that. So that was a fun little exercise, I guess. And then I did a regular workout on the Espresso stationary bicycle and burned 141 calories. And finally, I did 175 calories on the treadmill. And so I burned 475 calories total today. Thanks for listening to this interesting day of mine, and looking forward to tomorrow. I will be in San Francisco tomorrow. I was going to say the train or the bus, whatever this is. The ship will arrive in San Francisco tomorrow. There's going to be like a special thing on the bow when we go under the Golden Gate Bridge. So, I don't know, they're probably going to have little snacks and tidbits and things like that. And I'm going to try not to have any of them except just a coffee. So we will see what happens tomorrow. But I'll keep you posted. Hey y'all, day 18 here. So it's, let's jump right into it. It's what I expected. I checked the scale this morning and 155. Okay, so we moved up a little bit because of that disastrous decision we made yesterday, but I was I made up for it today. I think I did. Um, I barely ate anything. Now, I'm not saying that I was punishing myself, but I was more pacing myself after yesterday's, like I said, disaster. I pretty much ate about 2 days worth. So I kind of let it spill into today. I actually wasn't that hungry most of today. And most of that's because of just how I ate yesterday. So today was interesting. It started off with me doing now 500 calories in the gym. So I did 255 calories on the elliptical machine and then moved over to the treadmill and did 245. So the combination of the two was 500 calories. I'm very pleased with that. I'm just, I step it up a little bit every day. So I guess 525 tomorrow at least. We'll see. Then we visited the city of San Francisco today. The ship docked in San Francisco. I got out. And do you know how many hours I walked around that city? 4. I did 4 hours of walking. That's a lot of walking. And if they were right in that seminar, if it's 200 calories per hour of walking, that means I burned 800 calories. And you know what? I felt it afterwards. I felt it. It wasn't just regular walking. There was like hills and stuff, like big ones, very steep. You know how San Francisco is. And I even did a almost 2.5 hour live stream of my experience in San Francisco. And so, I was there walking and you can see it all. It was real. But yeah, it was a lot of walking. And when I came back to my cabin after that, I just went right into bed and, must have slept 2.5 hours or so. And just, that was a real deep nap. And my legs were just like on fire. But it felt good. And it felt like they were healing somehow in bed during that nap. And it was just nice to be in bed and just feel the cool air of the air conditioning, because it was kind of warm out there. It actually wasn't warm, but just all that walking made it feel warm, and I was just sweating. So yeah, it was an intense day, and I felt like I got a workout. If you combine the workout from the gym plus the walk in San Francisco, that is 1,300 calories burned today, right? Almost as much as yesterday's dinner, but not even close still. Anyway, that aside, I skipped breakfast. Yes, I did. All I had was a little coffee as we pulled into the port in San Francisco, and it was a really good coffee. I skipped lunch. Yes, I did. I didn't have anything until almost 7. Well, there was a meeting group. We had this trivia. It was great, and I'll probably be doing that again. So there was this. I apparently have joined a team just because I knew a few bits of information, and I was going to eat it around 5, but the trivia thing was getting going at about like 7, and so I just really got into it. So it had been almost 26 hours since I last ate from yesterday, and so I'm really glad about that. I was like when those people do intermittent fasting, I guess. So a long time since I last ate, but then I just, I missed the regular dining room meal time, and so I went to the Lido Deck buffet area. I had kind of a proteinish dinner. I don't know. I think a chicken breast with a dinner roll. Very, something you get in a cafeteria. It kind of is a cafeteria. Little bits of cheese, and a 2% milk. Very, very decent. Something that I sort of should be eating more of. Kind of boring, but it was okay. I also got this like dessert It was like this white blob of something, but when I put the spoon in it, it just all like cracked apart. It was all just like this sugary, just nastiness. So I didn't eat that, even if it's on the video. I did not eat that thing. I did get a soft serve, and the soft serve machine was kind of weird. It was kind of melted a little bit, but it was good. It was this raspberry soft serve, and then I had it had a few little bits of cookie on it that actually tasted good. Well, I had them put them on it, that on as the topping because it was the only topping I could see, and so I got that. And then I had a few other little macadamia nut cookies, just little ones. And then when I got to the room, I saw that there was one of those chocolates on the bed, so I ate that too. And so my total estimated for dinner, including these desserts that I had, was only 898 calories. So today, I think it's a pretty good number. So today's number was different from most numbers. The total calories consumed today was 898 calories, approximately, which is a lot less than yesterday. If you put the 2 days together, it's still a little too much, but you know, I don't try living too much in the past, and I'm not going to continue punishing myself tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll try to get back to my 12 to 1300 calorie normal diet. But as you could see, I burned more calories than I consumed. So I burned 1300 out there in San Francisco and here and in the gym. So I think those numbers look promising. Hopefully tomorrow when I weigh myself, I'll be back at 153 pounds, maybe a little less. Probably not, because I'm probably still paying for what I did at from eating so much yesterday night. Anyway, we shall see. It's been a good day. San Francisco's beautiful. I had a great time. Well, I always have a great time on these cruises, and this is an exceptional cruise. So we'll see what tomorrow's like, and I'll keep you posted. So it's been an interesting day, kind of. 155 pounds again. Still haven't quite shook off what I did over at the Pinnacle Grill, eating so much, but I'm working on it. I'm working on it. You know what? 500 calories burned this morning in the fitness center. Very pleased about that. Actually, 525 calories. I one up myself, I think. Yeah. So I did 250 calories on the elliptical, and then 275 on the treadmill. So yeah, 525 calories burned today. Then I had breakfast. A crepe, one of those apple cinnamon crepes, only ate half of it. A couple of small pieces of a hash brown, some orange juice. Pretty basic. Not a very good breakfast. I need to stop eating those crepes. I'm starting to not like them anymore. One thing that's okay now is I'm not sore all over my body from the exercising. I'm getting used to that. So that's something good. Then I had dinner, and I ate a lot during dinner. Of course I did. I skipped lunch though, so that's something. So for dinner I had started with this like a soup or a stew with salmon in it, and they threw in the little bits of salmon, and then they poured the broth on top of it. It was pretty good. Then I had another prime rib au juice. Only ate half of it, and then this kind of hash brown like potato thing. And then I had not one but two desserts. I'm so sorry. I had no choice. They were so good. One was a cheesecake with a bit of stroopwafel on it, and the second was a so-called opera cake. All of it was very good. the total for my dinner today was 1,163 calories, which means that the total consumed today was 1,516 calories. So back to my old ways, I guess. But I'm still really proud of the calories that I burned in the gym, and looking forward to tomorrow. Maybe I'll get back down to 164 or 163 again. We shall see. Have I got some great news for you today? I checked my weight on the scale this morning. 151 pounds as of today. And so that means the duck has now lost 8 pounds on this weight loss journey, on this cruise ship. I cannot possibly be happier. This is just the best news. Now, it seems kind of unusual. Again, I'm wondering where's the glitch? Where's, what messed up? The past couple of days it was at like 155, just sort of stayed there for a while. Was the scale maybe malfunctioning those days and it was really like 153, 152 or something like that? Or is it malfunctioning today at 151? Maybe that's a problem. Or what I think, maybe this is just a theory, today, kind of as indicated by my shirt, how do I say this not so crudely? It was a real day of release, okay? And again, I'm not a biologist or anything, but I think maybe the fact that I've been eating relatively little for what I'm used to may have meant that food was kind of just what little there wasn't being too regular in my system, and maybe a couple of days worth was just sort of processing. And today it seemed to the process seemed to be moving along a little better, and like my shirt indicates. So I think maybe that's the reason that we're seeing a number sort of jump down. But whatever it is, I'm very pleased with the number today, and yeah, I just kind of continued with it for today as well. So I went right into it. Breakfast, I ordered it for room service. I ordered orange juice, cornflakes and milk. Pretty simple. Although cornflakes has a lot more calories than I thought it would. But yeah, so I also ordered wheat toast with jam, but all they brought me was the jam. So, whatever. What did they think I was going to do with the jam? Put it on top of the cereal? Anyway, rather than complain or anything, I took that as, a sign not to eat toast with jam. So anything where I can stop eating too many calories, I'll just take that and just be happy with it. So my breakfast today was about 265 calories. Then I went to afternoon tea here on the cruise ship, and I ate a lot like I usually do at afternoon teas. I love them. It wasn't like lunch or anything, but it was like a big snack, of course. I had, afternoon tea, but I also had it with a bunch of sort of cream puffs. They had, I think it's called coddled cream. It's a very sort of English tea time thick cream. I had that, that was in the puffs. And I also had an egg salad and cress sandwich. And yeah, I would say that my afternoon tea was about 530 calories, but very delicious. And I think that was the last one that they're going to have on this cruise ship. because the cruise is actually almost at an end. And I am actually almost at the end of my weight loss journey because my goal of 10 pounds is only 2 pounds away. So we're getting closer. Then I had dinner, of course. I started with a little asparagus, which doesn't have very many calories from what I've researched. A little bit of asparagus with some bits of artichoke, I guess. And then I had a fillet of salmon, but I only ate half of it. It was very good. And I think it was on top of a bed of, I think it was rice pilaf, something similar to that in consistency. And for dessert, I had half of a dulce de leche cake. Very, very tasty. I'd say my dinner today was about 365 calories. And so my total consumed calories for the day was approximately 1,160. But of course, I also went to the gym, and today I bumped it up a little bit more from previous days, as usual. So I did 275 calories burned on the elliptical, and then another 275 calories burned on the treadmill, giving me a total of 550 calories burned today. So things seem to be going well. My system seems to be regular, and I'm very happy with the progress I've made, and I will continue to do so in these final days of the cruise and keep you apprised. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Hey y'all. So now we are on day 21 of our weight loss journey. Wow. Today I didn't get around to weighing myself. And now it's too late because I just had a huge dinner. And so I know the results are going to be different from what they should be. And to tell you the truth, I'm a little afraid that this 8 pounds lost may not still be 8 pounds lost. But it was just like a crazy morning. I went into Victoria, Canada, and so I just didn't get around to weighing myself, and then now, like I said, it's too late. So let's just assume it's still 151 pounds, and that it's still 8 pounds lost so far. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to check on that and make sure that things are still going as planned. So as for today, it started with a breakfast. Had breakfast in the main dining room, and this time I had a lot of calories for breakfast, more than I think any other day I've had on this trip. Orange juice, of course, and then I had this goat cheese and fruit plate. It was very good. I've learned from this entire journey, ever since it started at the Hyatt in Fort Lauderdale, that I am addicted to goat cheese, especially if you mix in fruit with it. I'm going to have it. I'm just going to eat it, whatever it is. So that's been really nice. Then I had this very heavy calorie item. It was Bananas Foster pancakes, but I did only eat half of them, but I still think, based on my research, that it was a lot of calories. So I'm going to say that it was about 820 calories for breakfast today, which is too much. But it happened, and there's no turning back. I did skip lunch, so that's good, and I also didn't have a snack, but I had a pretty hectic dinner, a pretty heavy dinner. So it started with a Heineken Zero. You know, that's only got 69 calories, as we know. And then I had these salmon deviled eggs. They were so good. It was just, 2 halves of a deviled egg, but it was still very yummy. And then I got an Alaskan cod fish, and I think from my research, these are low in calorie and high in protein. So I should be eating a lot more of this. So I ate the whole thing of that Alaskan cod. And it was on like a bed of, I think, mashed potatoes. So I didn't eat that many mashed potatoes, just a little with that. And yeah, then I did end it with I'm not really sure what it was. It was like a crumble, like a tart. I'm just gonna say words here, and I don't know what it was exactly. It was some kind of crumble, maybe breaded. I don't. Maybe cake, maybe strawberry shortcake, and then ice cream in there a little bit. You know, you be the judge. So I think overall, dinner was probably around 955 calories, if not 1,000. But I'm going to say 955. And so the total calories consumed today would have been approximately 1,775 calories, which is a lot. It's a lot, but it's not going over the 2,000. So, I'm going to cut myself a little slack. But I did exercise a lot today, so I'm very proud of that, and we need to focus on that. So today I did 575 calories burned in the gym on the cruise ship. That was a lot. We had already docked into Victoria, Canada, and I wanted to get out there and enjoy it, but I was like, I have to finish this. I have to do my 575 calories burned first. So I did. And so it started on the elliptical, where I did 195 calories. I split this into threes, by the way. Then from there, I went to the Strider machine, and I did 200 calories. And finally, I went onto the treadmill, where I did 180 calories. So the total in the gym was 575. Then I went into Victoria, Canada, and I walked around for 3 hours. And you can see my 2-hour live stream on YouTube. So, I was just walking the city, and it was a lot of walking, and I was exhausted when I came back. So I know it worked. So we'll say that was about 600 calories worth of walking. So the total calories burned today was 1,175, which is similar to the calories consumed, which is 1,775. So yeah, been a good day. I hope to be able to tell you in the next couple of days that I've reached my goal. I mean, we'll see. So yeah, this cruise is almost over, and I'll keep giving you updates as we finish this travel adventure, and hopefully the weight loss adventure can fully align with it. It may not, though. We may need a few days after the cruise. So onward to tomorrow, which will be day 22 of this weight loss journey. Let's see what happens. Hey y'all, it's my last day of the cruise. Isn't that crazy? So tomorrow we're going to disembark. We just departed out of Vancouver, and yeah, so since this cruise is at its end, I wanted to check first thing on the scale and see how much weight I've lost, because my goal was to lose 10 pounds during this cruise, so I wanted to see the result. And I checked it this morning, and it said 155 pounds. Unacceptable. Not only unacceptable, unimaginable. How could that possibly be? There must be some kind of malfunction, or maybe it's reading, in the kilograms or whatever that Vancouver and the Canadians do. I don't know what's going on. But it can't possibly be right. I can't have only lost 4 pounds after killing myself at the gym, for nearly a month here on this cruise, and eating, practically starving every day, even though, well, I'm not starving, but I do get hungry a lot, especially when I skip my afternoon snack. So, what's going on? I'm not really sure, but this journey is not going to end until I lose the 10 pounds, and I will lose those 10 pounds. So, anyway, we'll put that to a side right now. How was today? Today was a pretty good day for me, calorie-wise. Started with a nice breakfast. As we were pulling into the port of Vancouver, they were serving me my coffee. Today I had orange juice. I had a full thing of orange juice. Usually I only have half, but, I wanted to celebrate. So, yeah, I had orange juice, and then I had this delicious Texas toast, French toast. Um, I only ate one of those, by the way, and I didn't use very much, only just a very tiny bit of syrup and that little blob of, I don't know if it was cream or butter, but I barely touched that stuff. So I did pretty well with that. I had a little hash brown too, and then I had some turkey bacon, and if my research is correct, turkey bacon has very few calories. So I thought it was a pretty good breakfast. I think the total is approximately 490 calories for breakfast this morning. And so today I did skip lunch and a snack. So again, I was determined. And then I went on to dinner, and dinner was delicious. It was my last time having dinner in the main dining room here on this ship for this cruise, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I started with this. It was called a trio of like little shaved salmon, I guess, and just little pieces of salmon, and it was just delicious. And the sauce that was with it was just a little sauce, but it was very good. And I was eating this, and as we were crossing under this impressive bridge in Vancouver, and so it was just really nice. And it just reminded me of how memorable and wonderful these meals have been on this cruise. I mean, even though the meals themselves are usually not over the top or anything like that, they're still, you know, spectacular because I'm meeting great people, and I'm dining in the midst of the Panama Canal and Costa Rica and Vancouver, and it's just really wonderful. These are very memorable meals. I don't know what it's going to be like when I get back home to Texas. I'll be eating a sad bowl of porridge in the morning while rushing to go to work or something like that. But here, it's quite wonderful. So then, after that starter, I had this like jumbo breaded shrimp, very very good, and it was with a little sweet and sour sauce, and it was just delicious. I ate the whole thing, and of course I also had a Heineken too, Heineken Zero, you know, to commemorate the end of this fabulous cruise. And then, of course, for dessert, I had a baked Alaska, and I ate the whole thing. Um, I love baked Alaskas. I don't think I'd ever had any before in my life, but now that I've been on this cruise, I've had like 3 or 4 of them, and this was another winner. I loved it. An excellent meal. I estimate that the meal was about 794 calories, and so that means that today I consumed approximately 1,284 calories, which is good. It's around the area of where I've been trying to keep during this diet. And then I went to the gym. My last day going to the gym, and I think I did pretty well. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get back on land. I may have to get a gym membership or something because I've really enjoyed going to the gym and I've gotten used to it. And now that I'm used to it, I need to just keep going. So today I moved it up a little bit more, and I did 600 calories in the gym. Wow. So that was 200 on the elliptical, followed by 200 on the Strider, and then 200 on the treadmill. Very impressive for me. So I did 600 calories there. I'm feeling good about that. Overall, I'm feeling just good about myself. I feel a little healthier. I don't know. I think my tummy is a little flatter. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I don't know what that scale is saying, but tomorrow I'll do a little more investigating and see what's going on. It seems shocking to me that after all of this that I've done, that I've only lost 4 pounds during this cruise. I feel like it has to have been a little bit more than that. But I will report more tomorrow.